All right, now we have breaking news at the border. Multiple attorneys general saying a judge has issued a temporary restraining order to keep a pandemic-era rule that blocked asylum seekers from entering the U.S. Now, this coming as House Republicans tour the southern border amid what they call a historic border crisis. And also breaking at the border today, divers found the body of National Guardsman Bishop Evans after he saved migrants from drowning. The 22-year-old specialist went missing Friday after attempting to rescue those two migrants who appeared to be drowning. That happening in Eagle Pass, Texas. NewsNation national correspondent Kelly Beeson joining us now in the newsroom with that breaking news update. Kelly.
Well, Nicole, just into our newsroom, a judge has now issued that temporary restraining order to keep that pandemic-era rule that blocked asylum seekers from entering the U.S. This comes as the Republicans do tour that southern border. They're calling what's happening along the border a historic crisis, and they're calling for action.
If President Biden lifts Title 42, what we see today will be much worse.
Today, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy leading a delegation of Republican lawmakers to the southern border in Texas, calling on the Biden administration to reverse the decision to end the restrictions, saying it will further destabilize the border at a time when migrant encounters are surging.
A country without a secure border is not a country.
The public health policy known as Title 42 was enacted under President Trump at the start of the coronavirus pandemic and continued under President Biden. It allowed the government to turn away migrants at the border for public health reasons. The Trump administration said it would help prevent the spread of COVID-19, but critics argued it was a misapplication of the law, mainly put in place to block immigration, not to serve public health interests.
If the public health crisis is abating, then it would seem that the reasoning for Title 42 to be operative is ending. I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, the pandemic is over, but we're going to keep Title 42 in effect.
The development comes as the Biden administration recorded roughly 221,000 migrant arrests at the southern border for the month of March, the highest monthly number of border encounters in 2 decades. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki confirming last week that the Biden administration is planning and preparing for the end of Title 42 on May 23rd.
The president agrees that immigration in our country is broken, and there are a range of other ideas of reforming our immigration system. This would all require congressional action. We're happy to have that conversation with them.
But again, today, a judge now issuing a temporary restraining order to keep that pandemic-era rule that blocked asylum seekers from entering the U.S. Border Patrol officials say that they were, in fact, planning for as many as 18,000 arrivals a day once Title 42 was set to expire in May. Nicole.
All right, so Kelly, of course, we want to give both sides on this. And today, we know local politicians in South Texas, they came out in support of the administration's plan to let those restrictions expire.
Yeah, you're right. The mayors of Tucson, Arizona, Brownsville, Texas also came out in favor of the Biden administration's decision to end those pandemic restrictions on asylum processing. Nicole.
All right, Kelly, thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.